Well, I was just sitting here in the truck, just finished a quick vid, and I guess I shouldn't be startled by it now. I should be used to it, but whoosh, into my pocket went a hand and pulled what little change out of the threadbare thing that it is. You know whose hand it was, don't you? Yep, the haircut at the helm. Apparently he's flitting around over there in some African countries that, no offense meant, but I don't think anybody's heard of them. What's he up to besides taking selfies and spending gobs of our money on his entourage? Take his own chef with him. I imagine his own, somebody to tend the hair. Yeah, I just gave somebody or somebody's, I don't know, $600 million. It was $533 million last week. Or, well, no, we gave that to China. Like, yeah, China needs $533 million of our dollars. Are they the biggest economy in the world or just one of them? Do we have a trade deficit with them? What would possess anybody to give them $533 million? The $600 million. Again, well, he's just trying to buy a seat on the UN, apparently. Mentioned it to a friend of mine yesterday, dropped by. I said, oh yeah, I just gave it another $600 million. He said, oh, well, what's that? It's a drop in the bucket. Well, yeah, 600 million divided by, I didn't Google it, what is there, 30 some odd million Canadians? 600 million divided by, let's round it up to 40. Rather that was going into my pocket than out. But what's he want a seat in the UN for? I'm not going to get into the UN and, the power countries and the non-power countries and, The only reason I could see he'd want a seat on there is just for a more illustrious background, If I had pop-ups, I'd have a UN thing pop up behind me here. Just a better place to take a selfie, more illustrious background. The guy's out of control. What's he doing? Somebody phoned him up, said, hey, some problems at home here, the railway system shut down. The western provinces, they're not just muttering in the back of the bar about separatism, as they have been for years. And I'd say justifiably so. We take their money, we do darn little for them. And they're not really happy with what, I'm saying we, Ontario, our government, the hogs at the trough, whatever you want to call them, who we give it away to. We're always throwing it at Quebec, special interest group, keep them happy. I'm sure the Albertans will just love that one. Anyways, the western provinces, they're not just muttering in the back of the bar room anymore. They've got posters out on the street. Billboards, I mean. A lot of people unhappy out there. And again, I don't blame them. We've done nothing for them but take their money. Lots of it. Now we're strangling them. Do you think maybe the haircut there has some self-interest thing going on there with the, his daddy's trust fund and the oil thing? And, there's some talk of that in the street. I know I wouldn't be surprised to find it so. It does seem to have a way of stymieing any investigations, It says here in the Constitution, the RCMP can investigate, Governor General, Auditor General, whoever can look into these matters. No, give me that Constitution, he says. Grabs the marker. No, not happening. He doesn't seem to be accountable to anybody. Constitution, do we really have one? Seems like he changes it at will. Don't like this? No, can't happen. Oh, what are we going to do? I don't know. So they're flinging around money like crazy. We have a deficit of unrivaled proportions. It's a Guinness World Book of Record. Hasn't happened since, we were at war or the Great Depression that we've had this kind of deficit figures. You know, do the math. $700 odd billion divided by how many million Canadians. Then you add the province of Ontario in, it's got a deficit of 300 some odd billion. Divide that by your Ontarians. You know, somebody will come up with the math and say, I think I saw a figure the other day, it's about $19,000 for every Canadian. Well, that's every Canadian. It's the kid who was born yesterday and the guy who's on his deathbed today and everybody in between. Divided up amongst the actual working taxpayers. Whew, I don't think it sticks to 5 figures. I think it goes up to 6. Again, wanting a pop-up. And the balance will... No, what was it? Oh, the economy will balance itself. Pop up again. The economy will balance itself. And the economy will balance itself. My pocket's never balanced itself. My household's never balanced itself. Any business I've ever owned or operated or managed, they don't run themselves. You know, I asked my roommate, I said, hey, I've been running a successful business for 25 years. Do the books balance themselves? He looked at me like I was crazy. So, who ever heard of such a thing? That's how we're running our country, and I don't think it's balancing. Let's put it in a corporate kind of scenario. You know, board of directors tracks down the gallivanting haircut wherever he's roaming around out there taking selfies and says, hey, you better get back here. We're not happy because the shareholders aren't happy. You know, none of this, the books will balance itself. And well, they didn't do it in the last 4 years. It'll happen in the next 4. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got to go. I got selfies to take. No, sit down here, buddy. Sit down. We want a plan. 6 months from now, we want to see where the books are at. And again, 6 months after that, and 6 months after that. And if we're not seeing some positive results, you're gone, haircut. We'll put somebody else at the helm. You know, what are our 2 biggest priorities? Any country's priorities. The economy and the ecology. You need them both, you know. We need air, water, all that stuff. We need money. They kind of sort of go hand in hand. You got to have one to look after the other. Pop up, and the budget will balance itself. Man, I'm telling you, this guy and every guy, all the hogs in the trough, up there running the boat, their book should be open all the time to everybody. I should be able to just, you know, go down to the library, pick up my phone, my computer, Google, whatever. Show me the budget today, right now, yesterday, last week, last year. You know, they present a budget and they throw out figures like, you know, we saved $177 million over here. Well, what's that out of? Is it out of 500 million and saved 177? That would be good. If it's out of a couple of kabillion, then it's a drop in the bucket. They don't give us really viable working figures. You know, they say, hey, totally accountable. We give you all the figures. Well, they don't give it to you in any way that the common man or even an accountant could make any sense of. And what are our other political parties running on? Why isn't somebody, one of them, more of them, some of them, coming up and saying, hey, you know, oh, who's this guy pulling up? I don't know. Why aren't they saying, hey, we're going to take the economy seriously? It's got to be done. We can't keep up with this stuff anymore. So, well, we'll see what this fellow wants. And that's kind of the end of my rant and ramble anyways.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
Oh, fine. You have a topsoil?
Do I have
Topsoil?
topsoil? Oh, way in the back.
Oh, okay. They have it?
Yes, it's behind the trucks, way in the back by the red dump truck.
I meet somebody over there. Somebody have over there.
No, it's covered in snow.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's doing anything actively with it right now.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Yeah,
in the maybe March, end of a March, right?
yeah,
They
yeah.
still have it, right?
Oh, it's quite a pile of it.
Oh, they hiring any truck driver?
Are they? No, this is a whole bunch of different outfits parked here.
Oh, okay, park here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, take care. Well, I'm sorry for that interruption. I don't know. Maybe I can get somebody to edit that out or something, but it kind of made my point, anyways. The man is out of control, and we're bleeding. You know, we're bleeding economically so bad. We're going to need another orifice to bleed out of the way it's going. We ain't got enough of them. And how long can we keep bleeding like this? I don't know. And I think in an earlier rant and rave, I'd said, you know, maybe not in my lifetime, but we're headed for civil strife. I think I was mistaken about that. I think we're pretty well on the cusp of civil strife right now. There's a lot of people aren't happy, and it's escalating fast and hard. And it's got to be stopped. This guy, he's not doing anything. He's running around taking selfies. He's all about him. He doesn't care. He's got a trust fund. And he's probably lined his pockets pretty good out of the trough in the meantime. Whoa, slanderous. Potentially he might have. Let me retract that statement. Could have happened. Probably not. He's a nice guy. He's got good hair. But we can't keep bleeding like this, people. We just can't. It's out of control. And, well, my personal, there are other things I could get into, immigration, blah, 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 but let's just stick to finances. It's got to stop. This clown's got to be called back to the boardroom table and held accountable. No more selfies. No more running around with your entourage, currying, buying favor. What do we want a UN seat for? Oh, sorry, the selfies. All right, take care.